praises Kanye West's apology for anti-Semitic remarks, which didn't occur, moments after rapper said he was absolutely not sorry. I mean, just let that marinate. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this Piers Morgan interview, all right? Because Rolling Stone wrote an article and said that Kanye bent the knee. They said that Kanye apologized. I'm kind of torn on whether I feel that Kanye apologized or not. It's almost like one of those pictures that when you look at it, you see something different each time. Now, when I had talked about this before, I said it seemed like he apologized. But on the live stream with me and my man TD Hip Hop Media on Just Talking, if you guys ain't subscribed to Just Talking, please make sure you guys go over there. I was like, yeah, you know, now it kind of sounds to me like he might be talking about George Floyd's family. Because he said the families that I hurt. And that's the only family that's been verbal about, you know, anything going on with you know, being hurt or being damaged by anything that Kanye did. So I want to extend that question out to you guys. If you're familiar with this clip, did Kanye apologize for his comments? And again, another question that I'm going to keep on asking is, why is Kanye being forced to apologize for anti-Semitic comments and not being forced to apologize for anti-Black comments? That's the question. In my opinion, that's the question that the media needs to be pushed up on. In my opinion, there needs to be a flood of content that pushes up on the media and talks about the media's blatant anti-Black agenda. They didn't make Nuri Martinez apologize. Nuri Martinez can still bank. A lot of those LA council people that are racist that got caught on tape still have their job. They still have their jobs. Yeah, the same Floyd family that had no issue forgiving Derek Chauvin. And mind you, Derek Chauvin probably still has an existent bank account. Nobody ever said that Derek Chauvin had a mental illness and he actually killed somebody. So what you guys need to see is that there is a force out there. There's a certain factor. There's a certain faction that wants you to see things a certain way, but don't let them. Yeah, I agree, Black Narrative. I hope he doesn't back down and apologize. And anybody who's familiar with my content knows I don't believe in apologies. You should never apologize, even if you've done the most absolute detestable thing. You already did it. Do like Neely Fuller Jr. said and stand behind your work. Call it a day. You already messed up. Oh well. Make a bigger mess. You know what I'm saying? So let's check this out real quick.
You don't hold accountability to my pain. You're being a Karen.
I'm talking about. I'm not a Karen
to the pain.
I'm not a Karen, and I'm not going to cancel you, and I'm not going to uncensor you. I'm simply going to challenge you on what you're saying.
You can't.
I think you don't understand the pain that you've been causing with some of these comments, and I think that one in particular, I can understand.
Oh my God! God forbid, one comment could cause people to feel any of the pain that my people have went through for years. Even like the blacks being ushered to the left during the civil rights movement. No one has cared about black people.
All right.
No one is.
Let me say, I agree that the racism against black people has been utterly deplorable, shameful, unacceptable. And thank God the world is beginning to move to a better place about the way it has treated black people like you. However, one form of racism doesn't justify. It's almost
in a better place.
Well, one form of racism doesn't justify another.
It's not a better place.
I'm not cutting you off. I'm finishing my sentences. You can respond. One form of racism. It is racism when you say I'm going deaf for Jewish people.
I was in a position where I've been hurt, and this is the way I had the right to express myself. The point of this interview is for you to question me and then for me to answer and say, okay, even though the same rules are not applied to my people, if a person with a gun or drugs is pulled over and has three other people in the car, they're all going to jail. I'm not going to apply that to Jewish people.
Now, again, one thing that I think that people didn't pay attention to in this is that Piers Morgan, what's his dude's name? Piers Morgan? I forgot his name. He's not trying to force Kanye to apologize about his comments about black people. Now, what I want you guys to pay very close attention to is that this group of people hijacked the civil rights movement. This group of people also hijacked but Buffalo, New York. They got that hate crime bill out of 11 black people getting killed. The same business model as Black Lives Matter. Getting legislation and laws out of black deaths. So my question is, why is Piers Morgan not attempting to force an apology about the things that Kanye has said about black people? The reason why is because Piers Morgan is no different than any of these other clowns, and he believes that anything negative said about black people is correct, and that it's only other groups of people who should not be subject to scrutiny. You know what I'm saying? That's the ongoing theme here in the United States for not just white people, but Asians, Latinos, and both of these nonsensical political parties. Real quick, shout out to my man Jay Bird. What up with it, bro? So now I got to ask you guys a question. Have you guys really heard the media doing any good coverage on this, actually assessing this situation, breaking this stuff down, asking questions, making you think, and not like Dane Calloway, like literally actually making you think?
For the sake of this conversation. Isn't that what you wanted? But you know what you did? You tried to civil rights me. You tried to pull me back to a week ago, but we're here today. There's been plenty of conversations and commentary since that, but you want me to go back to 1960.
No. Here's
you want me to go back to 7 days ago.
All right, let me jump in. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to reflect.
Okay, so have we grown? Have we grown?
Here's how we grow. Yeah, here's how we grow. I want you to reflect.
No, have we grown?
So the way that we grow is to not address the anti-black things and address the things that he says about other groups of people. Pay very close attention to that. That is the baseline thought process of what we're up against in the world. Do you guys see this? Now, my question is, am I being too extreme, or do you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. I don't think that I'm being too extreme. I wish I could say more.
How we grow? You're not in charge of my growth. You're not in charge of my growth, Chris.
Okay, let me phrase it like this. I'm about to suggest to you how you may grow if you choose to grow this way. And you can ignore me. You can ignore me.
Piers, how much money are you worth?
Not as much as you, sadly.
Exactly. So
now here's my thing. Let me ask you guys this. Piers got in trouble for anti-black comments, if I'm not mistaken, a while ago. He frequently pushes the line when he talks about Meghan Markle. If I'm not mistaken, I think he got into some anti-black comments involving him and Sharon Osbourne were both talking shit. Which, ironically, when Kanye West came out and said this, that's when Sharon Osbourne went into full Karen mode, talking about she wanted all this money back from Black Lives Matter that she donated. That's why, like I always say, all money ain't good money. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have took the money from you. Can keep that shit. You know what I'm saying? Keep that little pocket change in your bra. You know what I'm saying? I don't need it. Keith says, listening to these buffoons are giving me a headache. Too much babbling over talking. Yeah, I agree. What Piers Morgan is doing is the normalized thought process of your neighbor, of your boss at work, of the teachers at your kids' school. This is when white people say something is woke, this is it. You're supposed to praise all of these other groups and accept every negative thing that all non-black people say about you. That's what white people mean when they say something is woke. Well, why are you contesting facts? You people do commit the crimes. We proved that just earlier this week with Tommy Tuberville. This is how they think. This is their wiring. These people don't even see anything wrong with what Kanye West said about black people because they don't recognize it as anything wrong because it's part of their religion. It's part of the oxygen that they breathe. It's ingrained into their red blood cells. You know what I'm saying? It's literally a part of their culture. So they can't even detect it. Now, what's even more nefarious is that Piers Morgan is such an arrogant prick. He doesn't even think that black people are smart enough to see what he's doing. And Kanye West is just happy to be arguing with a white man. That's the reality of the situation that we're looking at.
Take my advice. Maybe you'll get richer.
I would love to take your business advice.
Why would I listen to you?
Now, here's the thing. Kanye says, why would I listen to you? Right? Piers Morgan has never been sanctioned the way that Kanye West is being sanctioned. There's laws against doing what's being done to Kanye West. They're called BDS laws. How many people know what BDS laws are? You guys know what anti-BDS laws are? Give me a thumbs up. If you don't know what anti-BDS laws are, give me a thumbs down. The black narrative is very close. Anti-BDS laws. Anti-BDS laws and resolutions oppose boycotts of, you see it right there. There's laws against that. Man, that's even crazier than the AAPI hate crime bill. The name comes from the BDS movement, which calls for boycotts, divestment, and sanction against to pressure that same place to meet what it describes as that place's obligations under international law. Anti-BDS laws are designed to make it difficult for people and organizations to participate in boycotts of that particular place, while anti-BDS resolutions are symbolic and non-binding parliamentary condemnations, either of boycotts of that place or of BDS itself. Generally, such condemnations accuse BDS of being the same thing Kanye is being accused of, because everything is that, including talking shit about George Floyd. Despite the fact that George Floyd is black. Oh, wait a minute. Never mind. And are often followed by laws targeting boycotts of that particular place. Proponents of anti-BDS laws claims that BDS is a form of anti-Semitism. And so such laws legislate against hate speech. Opponents claim that that particular country and its supporters are engaging in lawfare by lobbying anti-BDS laws that infringe upon the right to free speech. Now, why is there always some free speech restriction issue with these people? Why is there always some free speech issue with these people trying to attempt to take away somebody's free speech. You can't even say anything about them. All of the laws that these people come up with are laws that restrict your ability to tell the truth or have negative critique against them. Isn't that interesting? That's clever, isn't it? Seems to me like somebody understands world domination is the only solution. And it ain't just black light revelations. So now let's go back to these two morons.
Why don't you hear what my advice is and then work out if I'm wrong? Can we do that deal?
Well, the thing is, you haven't given me any credit or a moment of reflection for the comparison that I made, the brilliant, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, I agree, Keith.
That I made to the cops pulling over one black person and locking everyone up.
I understand what you're saying.
And my tweet having issues. Wait a second, I wasn't done with the sentence. My tweet referring to all Jewish people. I said, for the sake of this conversation, I will refer to the business people who have destroyed me and my people and my fellow creatives. But you didn't even accept that I gave you that. You tried to push me back into 1960.
No, I didn't.
You tried to push me back into last week.
No, I didn't.
Okay, do you accept that example that I gave you?
I understand completely the example you gave me. I think all racism is wrong.
So I feel that we've grown.
I would like you to...
There is no such racism. Anti-black racism is the only racism. It's the only kind of racism that exists in the entire world. Any other claims of racism is completely false and intellectually dishonest. Every other race of people has a supply chain from start to finish, going all the way to their continent of origin. Our continent of origin is still colonized with military bases. Asian businesses extracting and ripping people off, practicing anti-black racism, as if there's something special to look at, making fun of little black kids. France, Switzerland, the Netherlands, all of those countries still have people in Africa. And they have people in Africa, not just people in Africa. They have people in Africa that control resources there. I'm looking at comments on one of my videos, and this person here, Silverback X, says, all dating is interracial. There's only one race. You mean interphenotypical dating. People are crazy.
To reflect,
I feel we've grown.
If you've now changed what you wanted to say originally, my question for you is, do you now regret saying DEFCON 3 on Jewish people?
Now, nobody was that interested in saying, do you want to change what you said about slavery being a choice? No one was outraged. Everyone agreed with him, including Piers Morgan. Now, how many people have heard of the Samson option? If you've heard of the Samson option, give me a thumbs up. If you guys have heard of the Samson option, give me a thumbs up. We talked about this on Just Talking. I guarantee you TD's probably not going to clip this part. Shout out to my man Jared. What's up with it? Yeah. The black narrative got it. So now, do you think that might be why that DEFCON 3 comment, you know what I'm saying, might have made some sideburns curl up? Samson option is the name that some military analysts and authors have given to their deterrence strategy of massive retaliation with nuclear weapons as a last resort against a country whose military has invaded or destroyed much of that particular country. Commentators also have employed term to refer to situations where non-nuclear, these people have threatened conventional weapons such as retaliation. The name is a reference to the biblical Israelite Judge Samson, who pushed apart pillars of a Philistine temple, bringing down the roof and killing himself and thousands of Philistines who captured him. Now, there's this issue of nuclear ambiguity. I don't know if anybody was aware of that. How many people were aware of the issue of nuclear ambiguity over there? Everybody else has to follow strict nuclear laws, and that particular country is out here killing people's nuclear scientists. But we can just do whatever it is that we want to do. This particular country somehow is able to refuse to confirm or deny that it has nuclear weapons, or to describe how it would use them. An official policy of nuclear ambiguity known as nuclear opacity. This has made it difficult for anyone outside of that particular country to describe the country's true nuclear policy definitively, while allowing that country to influence the perceptions, strategies, and actions of other governments, moving in forms of manipulation. A cultural thing. This is a cultural thing. We'll give you a bunch of word salad with poison on it. However, over the years, some leaders have publicly acknowledged their country's nuclear capability. Why do you get to hide how many nuclear weapons that you have? You think that might be why that comment is so jarring? It hit home, literally. So I don't know if people were aware of this, but that particular country stole the United States satellite Renaissance intelligence and used it to target the Soviet Union. You know what I'm saying? So, we got them out here doing shit like this, stealing shit, then acting like us and targeting countries with a ton of nuclear missiles. But, who cares? Right? Still, vote blue no matter who. You know what I'm saying? It's probably not a coincidence that flag is, blue as well, but, neither here nor there, right? Surely, probably mental illnesses or something,
Are you sorry you said that?
No.
I think it matters. You should be.
Absolutely not. I will say I'm sorry for the people that I hurt with the DEFCON, the confusion that I call. I feel like I cause hurt and confusion. And I'm sorry for the families of the people that had nothing to do with the trauma that I had been through, and that I use my platform where you say hurt people. And I was hurt. Yeah.
It's an uncensored interview. You said something which you've now wished you hadn't said, and you've apologized. I actually think that says a lot about you. Right? That shows you've got that ability to be self-aware, to understand when you cross a line. I think someone like...
Understand when you cross what line? Because what's the line that's crossed when people come for us? Where's that line? And what does crossing that line look like? Piers Morgan was not very concerned about slavery was a choice, and neither was the rest of the United States. Neither was the rest of this shithole country. Keith said, well, there's that apology. So much for coming from a revolutionary background.
With all your energy.
Now, if you pay close attention, it's Piers Morgan who said that Kanye West apologized. What Kanye West said was that he apologized for using his platform to hurt families. He didn't say he apologized for the comments that he made. Piers Morgan said that. So we got Piers Morgan using some I'm white and I say so here. And honestly, I think that's kind of why Kanye didn't say anything.
People hurt people. And I was hurt.
It's an uncensored interview. You said something which you've now wished you had.
I'm gonna bring it back a little bit. Okay.
I caused hurt and confusion. And I'm sorry for the families of the people.
See, he said, I'm sorry for the families. I'm sorry for the families. I'm gonna run it back again real quick.
Changed what you wanted to say originally. My question for you is, do you now regret saying DEFCON 3 on Jewish people? Are you sorry you said that?
No.
I think it matters. You should be.
Absolutely not.
So, okay, so right there, he just said, I'm not sorry about saying that. So he didn't apologize for that comment in particular. You guys saw that, right? He directly asked, are you sorry for saying this particular thing? Kanye said, no, absolutely not. Then he went on to say, I'm sorry that I hurt certain families. And again, I think he's talking about the Floyd family. So now you have the media and everybody saying, you know, one thing and we're looking at another. Like, look, like, watch this. And I apologize, guys, that I keep sneezing. You know what I'm saying? I apologize for that.
My question for you is, do you now regret saying
I update
DEFCON
every
3
day.
on Jewish people? Are you sorry you said that?
No.
I think it matters. You should be.
Absolutely not.
There we go. No, absolutely not. He's not sorry. And he said it with a smile on his face. So now you got Piers Morgan, who is now trying to get credit for getting an apology that he didn't actually get. But no one's calling Piers Morgan out as a phony journalist. What up with it, Fantasy? Yeah, I know. I need to, DJ Elmo. Yeah, I wouldn't say I don't ever say I'm sorry, bro. That's one thing that I don't do. You know what I'm saying? I just double down, even if it's something bad. I don't care. I don't go by this ethics system because I don't care about what these people think about my ethics. You know what I'm saying? I do need to dust out the studio, DeAndre. I do. You're right about that. Man, my microphone is dusty as hell.
You know, I will say I'm sorry for the people that I hurt with the DEFCON, the confusion that I call. I feel like I cause hurt and confusion. And I'm sorry for the families of the people that had nothing to do with the trauma that I had been through. And that I use my platform where you say hurt people.
So see, you see what he's specifically saying what he's sorry about. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't the DEFCON 5 comment. You know what I'm saying?
And I was hurt.
It's an uncensored interview. You said something which you've now wished you hadn't said, and you've apologized. I actually
see now you got so unless there's some part of the interview, because again, they haven't released the full interview yet. So unless this is a cut in from some other part of the interview, I don't know where this apology is that Piers Morgan is talking about.
I think that says a lot about you, right? That shows you've got that ability to be self-aware, to understand when you cross a line. I think someone like you, with all your energy and creativity.
Shout out to KO Kid Fit. What up with it, bro?
You're going to say stuff. The way that you talk constantly and in such an extraordinary manner, you're going to trip up. You're going to say things the wrong way. I don't think there's anything wrong in when you do that, doing what you just did and saying, look, I'm sorry, I crossed a line, I apologize.
I want to say that it's wrong.
If white people don't need to apologize for slavery and white people don't need to pay us reparations, we don't never need to say sorry for shit. If slavery was a thing of the past and we need to get over it, Kanye's comments were a thing of the past. Get over it. Right? I mean, the stuff that Kanye is talking about, they actually got a check for. See, that's what Kanye should have said. Why? you've already been cashed out. You know what I'm saying? White people boldly say no white guilt. They don't give a shit about slavery or any of the contribution to any of the situations that we're dealing with. Now, you can easily go around and say blacks sold slaves to blacks, but you can't talk about who sold weapons in both world wars. Despite the fact that, okay, both are true. But see, I could just get my recessive ass up somewhere and say black people sold black people and it's just okay. This is right. These people are sensitive. Okay, well, I start running people's families and talking about who were dealing arms like Destro from G.I. Joe during World War I and World War II. Ooh, might lose a YouTube channel or two. Might get deplatformed because it's just so outraging. Yeah, I'd be outraged too. That's interesting. You know, every day a white father kills his entire family. Did you guys know that? But that's not a statistic that they talk about. But you know what you hear about every single day? Black on black crime. Now, if I talk about how white men delete their families every day, I'm a black supremacist. I'm a racist. I'm a radical. I'm an extremist. I'm dangerous. You motherfucking right, I'm dangerous. But it's just common day vernacular to talk about black on black crime. That is okay and normal. I just want people to think about that. What's okay and normal? See, even Candace Owens said, shout out to my man Torian Rain, being a white straight male is normal. Actually, it's not. There is nothing normal about that, scientifically or mathematically. Numerically, all the components that go into being white are not mathematically normalized. There's only two things on the planet that are mathematically normal: seawater and black people. And that's because normal means the largest distribution. So you got Candace Owens pushing that bullshit. So now the question is, why is it that we're allowed to say certain shit and we're not allowed to say other things? So in 1492, during the Spanish Renaissance, my question for everybody is, what happened? What happened in 1492 with the Spanish Renaissance? Certain people were expelled from Spain, right? Is that correct? You sure that's who it was, DJ Elmo? The term is especially applied historically to Spanish you-know-whos who outwardly professed Catholicism, but they weren't really Catholic. The phenomenon is especially associated with Renaissance Spain following the massacre of 1391 and the expulsion of a particular group of people in 1492. So now you need to ask yourself the question, was Columbus evicted? Or was he just sailing the ocean blue in 1492 because he felt like it? I think that's the next question that Kanye West should ask. Shout out to Abby. What up with Abby? That's the next question that Kanye should ask. Because, you know, I'd like to know. You know what I mean? The crypto expulsion coincided with the Moors. Facts. We know Christopher Columbus wasn't no Moor. And why would you just decide to take a boat ride? Places where you've never gone in 1492. I'm gonna just get up one day and, you know, sail across the world. Motherfucker, you were running from somebody.
Wrong to hold an apology hostage. And I got to let go of that and free myself of the trauma and say, look, I'm just going to give it all up to God right now and say to those families that are hurt, you know, I really want to give you guys a big hug. And I want to, I say, I'm sorry for hurting you with my comments. And I want to word it in not in like a political way, but in a presidential way, which means what I knew a president to be when I was growing up.
All right, so there's that, right? So now Piers Morgan is just, he's delusional. And Rolling Stone wrote an article about this. All right. And we're getting there. I promise. I apologize to you guys that this is so long, but I really want you guys to see all of this. Piers Morgan praises Kanye West's apology for anti-Semitic remarks, which didn't occur, moments after rapper said he was absolutely not sorry. I mean, just let that marinate.